August 5th, 2025. The world awoke to headlines that stunned even the most cynical observers. $1.7 billion in U.S. aid to Afghanistan vanishes. Billions meant for food, medicine, and rebuilding war-torn provinces had simply disappeared without a trace. But beneath the missing money and burned trucks lay something darker, a crime nobody was meant to uncover, until two people got too close. One vanished without a trace. The other was never seen alive again. Kabul, Afghanistan, a city still bearing the scars of decades of conflict, yet pulsing with the fragile heartbeat of hope. After the U.S. military withdrawal in 2021, humanitarian aid became a lifeline. The Hope Line Project, a U.S.-backed mission, promised to deliver critical supplies to remote provinces devastated by war and hunger. At the center of this mission were two unlikely but dedicated allies, Nadia Rahimi, a 31-year-old Afghan-American field coordinator, fearless, multilingual, and deeply committed to her homeland, and Mark Toller, a 52-year-old former CIA logistics expert turned aid consultant, known for his precision and calm demeanor. Together, they were trusted by locals and foreign officials alike, the faces of hope in a fractured land. But beneath their professional veneer, Nadia and Mark sensed something wrong, something deadly. On July 18, 2025, Nadia set out with a small convoy to attend a tribal meeting in Khaki Safed. Hours later, authorities found one of Hope Line's supply trucks burning on the outskirts of Herat. Flames swallowed the crates inside, sending thick black smoke into the sky. Among the wreckage, blood-stained tarps and charred supplies, but no bodies. Nadia was missing. Mark Toller was nowhere to be found. 3 days later, in Islamabad, Mark's apartment was searched. There was no sign of a struggle or theft. On his desk, however, lay a single chilling item, a flash drive labeled simply insurance. Then silence. The U.S. State Department scrambled. Journalists decried gross mismanagement of aid funds, but one woman wouldn't rest on headlines. Forensic financial investigator Lisa Moreno was assigned to the case. She quickly found the first hard leads buried in balance sheets and company registries. Over 84% of Hope Line's operating budget had been funneled into shell companies scattered across Dubai, Malta, and Singapore, empty fronts with no real offices. Experts note that shell companies are a classic trick for laundering illicit money. Delivery receipts were filled out in block text and too perfect to be real. Photos of remote clinics were copy-pasted stock images. Auditors suspected someone ingeniously doctored the contracts to siphon cash away. A CCTV at the Herat depot captured Mark unloading crates, but crucially off the official list. Hours before the convoy was burned, a second unmarked truck, bearing no Hope Line logo, had received a hidden shipment. Was Mark diverting supplies or evidence? Lisa decrypted the flash drive. Inside were emails, audio log, and scanned manifests, and a secret folder containing Nadia's personal journal entries. Inside Nadia's diary, the tone shifted from hope to horror. Under her own code name, she wrote late-night entries. They told us we were saving lives. But sitting here in the darkness, it feels like we're just laundering hope. I asked Mark who authorized the contract with that Dubai company. He brushed it off. Something is very wrong here. A lead manifest jumped out. One shipment of 2,400 medical kits destined for Kandahar was instead marked for Djibouti, a strategic military base thousands of miles away. Days later, international media caught wind of something. Al Jazeera aired satellite images of U.S. cargo planes landing in Djibouti, unloading mysterious crates. Investigative journalists speculated these were weapons and rare minerals, not humanitarian goods. Hope Line was no charity. It was a cover. Nadia had uncovered the truth. Nadia's diary reveals a woman torn between duty and despair, trusting Mark, yet fearing the corruption around them. Mark, a man once loyal to his country, now seemingly caught in a deadly web of deceit, may have been torn between protecting the operation or exposing it. Lisa Moreno risked everything chasing shadows through bureaucratic labyrinths and threats. When she received a GPS coordinate with a warning, "You're getting too close," she didn't stop. The Afghan community, desperate and betrayed, still painted murals in Nadia's honor, hoping for the aid that never arrived. Meanwhile, unseen powers worked silently to bury the truth. The biggest twist came when Lisa uncovered a shallow grave in the mountains west of Ghazni, containing burned clothing and Nadia's pendant, proof she had been silenced. Then, a haunting video message surfaced from Mark Toller himself. Disheveled and frightened, he confessed, "If you're watching this, I'm probably dead." Hope Line was never about aid. It was a front, moving weapons, minerals, and money for people you'll never see on a ballot. Nadia died trying to expose them. Now they'll come for me too. The feed cut to black. Mark disappeared. Some say he's alive, hiding. Others believe he was silenced like Nadia. Within 24 hours, U.S. authorities terminated all Hope Line contracts. $1.7 billion was wiped from the books. No indictments, no official investigation. Lisa Moreno resigned, disillusioned by the bureaucratic cover-up. Afghan villages still remember Nadia, painting murals and naming clinics in her honor. Mark's fate remains a mystery. The crime remains officially unsolved, a stark reminder that not every crime leaves fingerprints, and not every hero wears a badge. But on wind-blown Afghan roads and the silent deaths of missing papers, the story of Nadia Rahimi and Hope Line whispers on, a cautionary tale of aid turned deadly, told in the only way it can be, as truth.